All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to week 2 of the Unstoppable Branding Experience. Of course, this is Rhonda Swan, live in action, coming out here from South Lake Tahoe, and really excited about this week because last week was kind of like that warm up week, getting you guys a little bit to know each other, kind of understanding the point and the purpose of why you're here, and the work that we're going to get done together. And I'm really pumped about it, you guys, because you know branding certainly is not it's not about the way you market. It's about the way you present yourself to your audience through your core message, through the post that you make. And we really do start off with understanding our story, right? The value that you have, your uniqueness that you have to the marketplace. In fact, I actually had a conversation with someone who said that they weren't necessarily ready to join the workshop, which is totally fine. Um, although this is what she said. I said, well, what? Just tell me a little bit about what your market is. Like, who are you targeting? And she said, well, I'm targeting people that want to get a stronger presence online and become an entrepreneur. Now, how many of you guys, just by even a raise of hands, think that that's narrow enough to actually target people that want to work online and become an entrepreneur? Now, no judgment, right? But then again, it's really broad. Okay. And so, what we have really found, guys, is that the people that really understand your market, they understand who you're talking to through your brand, guys, will really allow you guys to win more. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Here's some crazy feedback. I need to mute some people here. All right. So, Barb, why don't you make sure, Barb, that you are muted on your end, because we're getting some crazy feedback on your side. Go ahead and click that little green mic button there, Barb.
Hold on, I gotta plug in. I'm gonna about lose my power.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. I'll just mute out for you. And then when you're ready, you'll just put your hand up when you want to jump out of here. That way, guys, we keep it really nice and clean, making sure that all of you are muted on your own with that little microphone button there. Hey there, Jeremy. Good to have you here, buddy. I know you're doubling up tonight on the calls, aren't you? You guys have a double call tonight. Brian said he's on a call. But make sure that all of you guys, Yvonne, Gianna, Jeremy, make sure that you guys, there you go. Thanks, Jeremy. Mute yourself out. And that way we won't have any crazy feedback. And you guys can unmute whenever you're ready. Can we do that? There's a little green microphone square. It's got a mic in there. You just hit it and it'll turn you gray. There you go. Awesome. Yvonne, if you could mute yourself out, that'd be super, super good. Cool. That way we can make sure that everything stays clean and that we all have the opportunity to talk. But it also keeps the lines clean, especially for the recording as well. So, okay. I chose, of course, I love this image right here. It's fabulous, right? Be weird, be random, and be who you are, because you never know who would love the person that you hide. See, it's so perfect when it comes to branding, because for so long, people have literally hidden behind, sorry guys, hidden behind a laptop. They've hidden behind a website. And what we know is that the more transparent we can become is the more connected you become. We set up really understanding what your brand's about, guys, because it's about finding the person that is just like you and talking directly to them through not only your imaging, right? So we're gonna get some of the groundwork laid first, and then you guys are really gonna start now. In the next couple weeks, we're going to create taglines, but then we're going to start creating content, video content that is all related to your specific brand. And I'm going to show you guys how to push it to the world, how to connect with them, and how for people to really relate and to identify your brand. And see, this is the difference for this conversation I had with this woman earlier. She's like, well, I'm, targeting people that want to be online entrepreneurs. Really? Everyone is targeting people that want to be online entrepreneurs. But if you can imagine this, target people that are, for instance, like the Unstoppable family, right? We are family, we're a family, and we travel. Okay. We literally target people and families that really want to live the lifestyle that we do, right? So the people that we communicate with love personal development. So if you notice, our posts are always connected to something motivational or personal development, but they also have typically children. Many of them have kids, but they are travelers and adventurous people. And they're looking to make a life and not a living, right? That is our brand, the Unstoppable family. That's what we are. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys some examples of some really great brands that I've helped create in the branding workshop, but start to put your mind in a space where you guys are really beginning to narrow in and target your brand. Now, I have a massive policy, right? Or just, I guess it's a belief that our brands, guys, or our blogs become our home, right? I will say this till I'm blue in the face, that your blog becomes your home. And when you invite people there, right, through a post or through a video, which you're all going to be doing, you will all be doing blog posts, videos that are all connected and congruent with the type of brand and the person that you want to communicate with. When you are so connected, right, and you're not just scattered everywhere going, everyone wants an online business. Well, that's true, they might, but not everyone wants to work with you. So when we learn to target the people that want to work with us, now we win. Now we're not doing what is called the shotgun approach, right? Just blasting it out everywhere and hoping you hit someone. Now we're actually hitting, which I like to call it the bow and arrow approach, right? We're literally that bow and arrow, that arrow's got to hit nail right into the bullseye. So when we can actually start thinking that way through our brand, then all of our posts have purpose. I'm going to show you how to write posts that have purpose, how to connect people and bring them back to your blog, how to create posts and videos and market to people that really just identify with you. Okay. Because, be who you are, right? If you're trying to be someone else, you're not going to really connect with the right person. So, all right, so let's get rocking today. I want to go through a couple things, and then what I really want to do, though, guys, is hear from you about some of the breakthroughs, possibly some aha moments you may have had, and some video challenges, right? Because this last week, week one, and some of you guys are brand new to the workshop, which is fine. I know you guys some of you are catching up on going through some of the work that we did last week, kind of really getting yourself comfortable with the members area and kind of figuring some things out. But this week, guys, is really going to be your biggest building week. And we're laying the foundation right now of how your brand is going to come out of you. And what I mean by that is I asked you guys in week one to really brainstorm about what makes you unique and to start recording or writing out your story. Okay. Now, the reason behind why we go and start with our story and why we start talking it out and writing it out is because when you listen to yourself and find out why you did what you did, you are going to start identifying with that type of person. So we do it a little bit backwards. It's a backwards way to find out who your target market is, because when you're thinking about who your market is, your target market is you. Your customers are really you, those that can relate to your story and who you are. So, what I would like to do is kind of go through some things with you guys. What came up for you guys? Like, what took place this week while you were going through some of these notes and these questions through week one, which is, maybe what is your vision already, right? And I'm going to have, those of you guys that are ready to really come out and talk about it, because, the more focused we can become in understanding, where we think we are now and where we really are going, right? We can start to nail down really what we want to reveal in our brand. Now I'm going to go through some slides in a moment, but I'd like to hear from some of you guys that started the homework this last week, and what were some things that came up. Because the reason why I do this workshop the way I do it live is because those of you that come out and had some breakthroughs or started maybe some of the work that others did not, it helps them rocket ship themselves from where they are now because you've done the work. So some of you guys might pop like popcorn immediately, like, okay, I got it. Like, for instance, we have Keith is here today, actually at our house. He's doing a day, kind of VIP day with us, going through some stuff. So we did like a really quick blast with him, like, what is his brand, right? What are you? And it didn't take Keith long because he actually, like, I'd like to say someone popped quicker because he's like, look, I'm adventurous. These are the kind of people that I want to target, these people that I am. I want to work with these people. We kind of talked about his story a little bit. And what happened is we just started to nail down, all right, what is the uniqueness that you've got? And what are some of these unique things about you and that you do in your, area of expertise, which is he's an adventurer, and he started to find actually nailed down his domain name really quickly, and so we really started to be able to build. Now we're going to start building upon his brand because we have an understanding of who the people he wants to talk with and really what makes him so unique. So so what I want to do for those of you guys that haven't started the work yet, just listen in. I want you guys to jump out when you're ready. But the most important piece is really, what was it about your story? Okay, your story is probably, or my story, let's say, is probably why most of you guys are here, right? Or maybe it's, let's say, Vincent Ortega Jr. A lot of you guys work with Vincent. He's got an incredible story video that you related to because you understood what he was all about and you wanted to connect with him. A lot of you guys are in Power Network, right? You guys connected with the Dave Sharp story, right? Do you see where I'm coming from? Why your brand becomes so powerful to your story and where you came from and where you're going? When people actually hear, when you hear yourself recording it, but someone else sees your story, see, your brand will begin to really emerge from that. And that's why we start with your story and then we begin to build upon it. So, all right, let's see here. I want you guys to put your little hand up, that little yellow hand. I know you guys are kind of getting used to the hand and, putting your hand up. And remember, be honest. If you guys didn't do any of the work, that's fine. Just let me know and I'll walk you through it, right? You're going to get it out one way or another. All right, awesome. Beth, are you coming out here, Beth? I'd love to have you come on out here. Are you ready, Beth? Yeah? All right, Barb's ready. Cool. So is Pat. Awesome. Yay. All right, Beth, are you going to jump on out here? Beth. Oh, let's see. Okay, no problem. All right, well, I'll pull you out then in a moment. She cannot talk right now. No problem, Beth, at all. And I understand. I know she did a video, which I'm so pumped that you did your video, Beth. And I know you were having some trouble uploading it, so I'll make sure I can help you do that. Okay, so Barb, coming out. What's going on, sister?
Oh man, I almost wish I hadn't raised my hand.
No, it's good. This is the best time. We're getting
Um,
one-on-one work here, girl. So tell me about
yeah,
it.
this is a little bit painful.
Okay, that's all right.
Um, you know, uh, what I'm trying to figure out right now is, as far as my brand goes, is how to relay it in a way that doesn't come across as something that's a downer. You know. Um,
Okay, explain to me what you mean by that. Are you talking about your story? Because this is the
yeah,
greatest part. Okay, let me just.
yes.
I want to relieve some tension for a lot of you guys too, because all right, I look at things like this. All right, I call this our circles. All right, so for you, Beth, right, and for everyone, we always just want to get it out. It's almost like roll the whole thing out for you, right? Because what happens is we do this. This is like your main, this big black circle, right, becomes our main story. See, and then whoops, then what we do is we actually start taking these little lines, right, these little topics of our story, and we start bringing them out to allow us to then create more circles, which then allows us to find out what's really important. So there could be this one here. This could be like my childhood growing up that maybe created a poverty conscious mindset right back then. But then maybe over here became you overcoming it and then getting married, right? And then over here, it could be now you took the steps forward to start a business. See, now they all relate, but what we do is we find out what is really important then to your customer. Okay, so we want to get it all out, but we'll start narrowing it down. All right, does that help you out a little bit, Barb?
Um, yep.
Okay. All right. So let's go. So
I
let's
have.
share a little bit. What took place for you this week?
Oh gosh. Okay. So, um, a lot of crap. Very just bad childhood. Which basically led me to making a lot of bad decisions in life, which led me to where I am now. Um, I actually kind of feel like this is the first time in my life, and I'm 54, the first time in my life where I'm actually starting to take control of things
Okay.
and, um, move forward and do things positive for myself.
Yep.
And I feel like somebody actually that's just kind of come out of jail and hasn't really even been around people in years,
Wow.
and it's
Okay.
just got, yeah. So the communication is a little difficult for me. I really I don't have support. I don't have family. I don't have, I just feel like I don't have what's kind of the norm. Obviously everybody's got issues, but um, so I feel like I'm just kind of becoming alive,
Okay. All right. This is
and I would like right now all I can think about as far as my brand is being somebody who can show that kind of like it's never too late. Um, to create what you want to create out of life.
okay. This is really good, Beth. Or Barb. I want you to know. Um, this what you're not necessarily giving us your story, but you're telling us where you came from. See, these are the kind of things, guys, when you start to develop, right? We're developing our brand. Barb, let me ask you, would you say that by what you just wrote here, can you see maybe a person that you could connect with? Could you actually see a person that you're talking to that might be like you, that might have been in the same exact situation?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah. So, but yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Keep going.
I don't know. I I don't want to attract a bunch of sad sacks though either.
Of course not, and you won't. This is the
So
power. This is the power from going through this kind of process. Is you're like,
yeah.
look, I've been here, right? So yes, certainly the things that have happened to you in the past, right, deeply, you're not going to want to start targeting people that had a horrible childhood, right? But you want to target people, right, that understand where you come from, because now a lot of your content, right, everything I'm talking about, it's not about an image, guys. Okay, we're talking about
Mhm.
what's going to come from you. Your brand is going to come from you. The imaging, the way it's going to look, that's actually going to come. I mean, that's not even the important part. What it is like your content now, Barb, the way you're going to communicate with people is like taking control. Like, look, hey, I'm Barb. I had a crappy childhood, but now I'm taking control. I'm like finally becoming alive because I understand what it takes to take control of myself. Now I have a
Mhm.
solution for people that have been to that point and now can literally create the life that they want. It's never too late. So do you see those all these buzzwords that you've been saying are actually helping you create content, a way to communicate to people that you can target. They will relate to you. Is that making sense?
Oh yeah. I just, as far as thinking about, creating content, whether it be, video or blog posts. In the past, I've always kind of thought of, and maybe it's the people that I've kind of been associated with online for a short while, um, that kind of what they write about is, how to solutions, for um, technical issues or whatever, or how to do this, how to do that in network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess right now in my head, I'm having a hard time connecting these two.
Okay.
Like if I do that kind of thing, I don't know. So I'm just kind of fuzzy on.
Okay, I want you to hold on to this,
Um,
Barb. I want you to hold on to this because this is really great that you are identifying that. I'm going to go through some slides in a moment, sharing with you guys how you begin to really craft what that brand is. Okay, and it's
okay.
through choosing, and I'll get to that part. Right now, we're just really focusing on you guys, really identifying just your story, how you got to this point, what brought you what brought you here? We have lots of feedback. Barb, would you go ahead and just mute yourself out because I think there's some feedback coming from your line?
All right.
just because I feel, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, there's a little feedback. So what happens, we have to just start identifying with our story first of where we have come from to get to this point. So then we can begin to actually start identifying who we're going to really relate to the most. And then we'll begin to create this next week, starting next week, guys. We're going to start creating a video series based on some of the content. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Right. Brian's getting ready to talk and we got double webinars going on. And so I want you to just sit right here within that space, right? Which is what really made you so unique that you're at this point now, right? So a lot of your uniqueness comes from, it's is it I want you to unmute yourself though, Barb, too. It came from having a difficult childhood or a life, and now you're finally taking a stand. See, not every person comes to this point where they're like, man, I've never done something for myself. Now I'm finally taking a stand. So, the way that you're going to communicate your content does not have to be anything about technology or marketing. It's about what you will relate to people. Yeah, certainly you're going to have people that want to learn marketing, but you know what? I barely do marketing. I want people that relate to what I've done and the position I've been in. And when they relate to you, they ask you for what you've got. Does that make sense, Barb?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So you don't have to be a technical guru. Some people choose to become a technical guru, right? I didn't. I don't never want to be a guru because gurus, they have to live up to these expectations all the time. I just know what I'm good at and I know what I can communicate with people. If you guys watch my videos, I got thousands and thousands of videos out there. Half the time I really don't share marketing. I share how I have become successful through my mindset, through my vision, through, having a why with my child and just doing the steps that it takes. Okay? So begin to really share with what you're good at. You good at that? You good, Barb?
Yep, it's just it's a shift in what I was thinking about writing about.
Okay. And that's good.
So that's good because what you just said is really what I thought I would be creating my content about.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I kind of was stuck on the idea of, when I look at other people's blogs, they're writing how-tos and all
Right.
that kind of thing. And in some circles, you hear people say, well, write about solutions for marketers,
Well,
answer their questions.
let me ask you, are you targeting just marketers?
Um, well, that's an evolving, I think that's what I was thinking of earlier, but I think that has evolved, into trying to fine tune it.
Yeah,
Like
I'll
what
give you
we're doing
guys
here.
some of the best advice is this. Everyone, right, in internet marketing thinks they want to find the marketers. But guess
Yep.
what? They're already marketers, right? So
Yeah. I think the
I
typical thing that you hear, the typical thing that you seem to hear is, just go out there and provide all the solutions for everybody, and then you'll make sales. And it's a whole different approach than branding yourself, like what
that's
we're
right.
doing here.
Absolutely. And so we're
Like a
doing something
little,
very different. We're
yeah,
doing what we will be teaching here, I'll be teaching you guys and sharing with you guys is how to attract people that want you. They
yep,
don't
got
really
it.
care what you have. They just like what you have to say. They are so inspired by the things that you've done and then you have a solution, right? See, that's the
Yep,
whole point of personal branding yourself. And it's I don't ever really want to work with marketers. I don't usually get marketers that are current marketers to work with me. I get people that want to travel, that have families, that want to be with their kids, because that's what I talk about. So we can all pick our personal brand of what we're good at. I'm going to show you some people that are great at doing only marketing and sharing marketing stuff, and that's what they're good at, but that doesn't have to be what your brand is. So, all right, good. So you're already getting that little bit of a foundation. This is good stuff because I will start building on this, and a lot more is going to come through to you guys, and it's going to pop. And a lot of times, your brand, the idea of what you think. That's why I wrote in our week one homework. What do you think it looks like now? It always changes. Most people get here because they've been following all these other marketers and leaders that they like. And they're like, I should be like him. I should be like her. I should be like her. But you have to be like you. And then it changes. It's fabulous when it changes. Okay. Because you guys get really to your core. And all of a sudden now it's like, bam, look at this powerful personal brand, this person that I am. And now your content becomes so easy to communicate, you guys, because it's what you know. You're not learning about how to, market on Facebook and learning it so you can teach it. Hi, sweetie. Hannah Lace here. She wants to say hi to everyone. I'm in my workshop right now. Daddy's going to be back. And we're going to open Daddy's cake because it's Brian's birthday today. Okay. We're going to get Daddy's cake right when he gets back. This is the luxury of working from home, right, guys? Awesome. Okay, awesome, Barb. Thank you for that. This is why I do the live workshops right here. These live ones are when you guys get to really get a little bit more clear together, so that when you go back on your own, you're like, wow, okay, I get this now. All right, so Debbie, come on out, Debbie McKinney. Come on down. All right, we got lots of you guys. Hands up. Woo, woo. I love seeing the yellow hands. Come on, Debbie. What's happening with you, Debbie? How'd it go for you?
Well, I see what you're talking about, and just recently have figured that out.
Okay.
And my kids are gone. I'm 58, and so really what I'm looking for are people like 50 to 65 who want to travel or do fun things, kind of live out my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
They're into personal development, natural lifestyle. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had several businesses, a number of them with my husband, but now I'm doing it on my own and having a business with a life. I love marketing and sharing. I love masterminding and mentoring and sharing what I've learned. So growing a business.
Okay. All right, I want to rewind for you, Debbie.
Okay.
Did you go through and do your whole story, right?
I wrote out kind of bullet points, but now that you explained it differently,
Okay.
I need to fill that in. And that's just it. I've had ups and downs.
Yep.
And a lot of different story points.
Yeah. Yeah, and the story points, guys, see, this is the part, like because everyone's going to do, by next week now, I'm going to really encourage, or I'm going to like throw the hammer down, sit in front of the computer and say, hey, this is what I've gone through. This is where I'm at. Because what we're going to do then is we're going to do it like this. You're going to take what I like to call circles. It's like, I could have called it something flashy, but really it's the best way to look at our story. You take that big black hole, which is our story, and then we start taking all these little points. So you're like, so this is, when I had a business with my husband, this is when I did this. And then you start to take all those become really solid pieces of content. But what happens is it allows us to look at it and go, gosh, okay, how am I branding myself to where you look at all these pieces, you're like, who is that person I could really connect with the best? And then your brand starts to get really, really clear, because now you're like, all right, so we'll do a video series, and the video series will start next week. You're going to go, okay, all these circles, all these are a different part of your video series. They're a different part of your content where people are going to start relying on what you have to say, because it all comes with a point, right? And so your brand begins to come where people are like, wow, this woman's got a really great background and a history that I can follow, and I've been there before. So let me ask you now, Debbie, based on that, are things starting to kind of, you bullet pointed it, but are there some things you think, wow, there's some surface points that I haven't brought up yet that could really probably connect with someone that really makes your uniqueness come out?
I do have a lot of stories, and I've kind of just hit on them, highlighted them in what I submitted, but I need to go deeper. Yeah, I have stories that could touch people.
Awesome. Because if you think about it, guys, every type of marketing that's done, everything, metaphors, commercials, advertisements, everyone connects with a story. Okay. So when you are now, let's say you're writing blog posts, or you're writing newsletters, or you're doing a Facebook post, or you're doing. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So what you'll do is now you're going to be able to take that content and turn it into, right, it's going to all be related to the brand that's coming out from you. So your core message is going to come through. So let me ask you then, Debbie, when it comes to your idea of maybe what your brand should look like now, do you have an idea yet? Because that's always really fun to get an idea, and then you're like, wow, that one part about my whole life, my story is my brand. Because that's what happened for us, right? We became the unstoppable family because of the tragedy we hit when we hit massive real estate issues, right? But we became unstoppable because we're like, wow, we can travel the world. Nothing's going to get in our way. So that became our brand. My brand changed 4.5 years into me already running a successful business. So it takes some of those points in our life that makes us really who we are, and that's where all of our good content comes from.
Okay. I mean, I love growing businesses.
Okay.
I love working with entrepreneurs. I'm a strategist. I can see the big picture and come up with a blueprint. Oh, and I'm Debbie with the Y, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I actually saw that, and I know I just noticed that. There you go.
I love marketing, and I guess where I'm growing myself, I love to share with people. And so,
So let me ask you this. This could be really cool because just when I was talking to Barb would not have really anything to do with really sharing much strategies or marketing. See, this is where, right, your high point and your really strong uniqueness may come through.
and I've worked with Bob Proctor, and he's been my mentor for like 20 years.
Okay.
And so I can bring the personal development because people have to know where they are and where they're going. And so I can bring that into the business as well.
Absolutely. And that's really that's the approach that I've taken as well, right? I've done success, I've no business, but my best message and my best connection comes from those personal development messages that can relate to business.
Right.
Right? Okay, good.
Right.
Awesome. And when I go through some of the other ways of really looking at how we want our brand to really shine and share with people through imaging, is going to really become clear, because there's already some areas that are you're identifying now that can really all be tied together. And once you kind of get that idea, then it's just really crafting how we're going to share that core message with our audience. So, all right, good stuff, Debbie. Anything else that came from you? Maybe like any challenges or things that happened through doing the work, week one's work at all?
Well, the questions make it easier to do, and I think before I was trying to just come up with a message and limit myself. But when you're saying get your whole story out, and then we'll kind of rein it in,
Yep.
that makes it easier.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I've done this for a long, long time, and I found that when you do take those baby bites, and what happens, we're so, at least for me, I'm a type A, right? I want to think it all out. I want to like nail it down right now. But when we take it in these little baby bites and allow you guys just to really digest it and really just kind of let the process work, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I really get this now. It starts to come out of you. So yeah, use the process and use the little baby steps and really kind of let it unfold. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool. Anything more from you? So I'll slide on down.
No, I think I'm good for now. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, cool. Good. All right, cool. And then we'll move on. All right. So Julie Turner, come on down. Julie Turner, the one that said she wasn't even going to speak.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't talk. I can't believe I even would talk. And here she is now. Every session, you're the one that's jumping out. So tell me, what happened for you, Julie? What came out for you?
Well, it was like a massive shift in me this week. I've got a personal blog on.
Oh, we'll let you catch up there. That internet sounds like you're dragging a little, Julie. Julie's like, when we go to third world countries, like she's got the monkeys grabbing her cords. we'll let Julie come on back. It looks like we lost your sound. There you go. Okay, there you come back. Let me unmute you there. Okay. I think you're back now, Julie.
How far did I get?
Yep, you're back. You said it's a
Okay.
massive
So
shift.
yeah, a massive shift. So like this week on my personal blog, I've just been spewing out like all these things that have been blocked for years, and um, just I've always struggled with confidence in depression and postnatal depression and all that sort of stuff. And I think I want to help women that don't think they're worth it, but they are.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
Okay. And is that becoming from your story?
Yeah. Like I've worked out I'm just one of those people who want to kind of get there and pat people on the back and say, you know, you can do it. You can shine. And yeah, I think the mummy in me just wants to get everyone up there succeeding.
Okay. Now, Julie, tell me, what is are you are Empower Network is your only business opportunity, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because, certainly this is, and what I love to do, guys, is when you really get an idea of, who the person is you want to speak with, right? Then you will naturally come from it. Your brand will naturally come out of it. And what we do is you'll start doing these video series, and just this right here, you could start here, and it could totally change for you. So let's dig even deeper as to why is it, what is it about your uniqueness or something that's possibly happened for you or something that you are like so powerful with that this is your target right now?
I think it's just the fact that I spent most of my life just never fitting in and kind of spent a lot of lifetime being picked on and that I was never good enough. And I've just realized, well, that's my choice. I'm choosing to listen to that and I don't have to.
Yeah. Okay, good. And so you've had experiences, circumstance in your life that's put you to this point. So now you've actually created and found a solution or found strength. How did you find strength to have this, this power now to really help other people?
I'll probably just because I've been through it. My young daughter went through it at school, and I don't know, I'm always finding solutions to help her and help everyone else. And I think in doing that, I've actually finally looked in the mirror and thought, oh, you crazy woman, help yourself.
Right. Well, I mean, this is when
Yeah, so
we
I'm good at handing out.
keep going.
Sorry.
No, this is good. No, you have to get.
Yeah, no, I'm good at. Yeah, I'm good at handing out the advice to others, and I just finally kind of spun it around onto myself.
That's a really good video, actually. People relate to that so often. You know how many people relate to, being the best advice giver, but the worst advice taker for yourself? It's a really, it's an empowering moment to find yourself in those spaces. And this is all part of your content. Everything we're writing here, guys, everything you guys say, hopefully you guys are keeping your notes and you've got them in the back office, because this is when you're going to start pulling from your content and when you're going to really start to utilize, my favorite medium right now has become Facebook and of course video. When you start sharing these stories, and most all of you guys have seen these long tail stories that we do on Facebook and in on video, and it's amazing what happens. So many people think I have to be this marketer that points, this is what I'm talking about, how to, here's the solution to make money, right? And that's all they do, and they think that's what people want to hear. People don't want that anymore. They want to find someone that they can read a story and go, wow, this is really inspiring, and I really like this, and this woman had this situation, and so now I want that solution too, and this is the solution she used. So then they opt in for your solution. So when you really get defined on what we're all about, okay, and then like what Barb was saying, I don't want to do marketing stuff, but there might be one little marketing technique, Barb, that you figure out that you're good at. So for me, I sprinkle, I have a ratio of 3-to-1. Every 3 pieces of really good, inspiring content that I share, I can actually offer something or sell someone something. So we always want to I always bring people to our blogs, right? Because that's where our blogs, where they really identify us. But then you also then have the right to offer something, right, to your list. And we're going to go through how to brand and share information to your list as well through your brand. All right. So anything else, Julie? Did you shoot a video this week at all? Did you get your story video out so you can really start seeing?
Yes,
Okay. How'd that go?
it's up on, yeah, well, I've got it up on YouTube and up on my personal blog and my Empower blog and everywhere.
Okay, good. Did you put it? Great. Excellent. Did you put it? Make sure that you're also posting it on our the branding fan page, because that's really the best spot where everyone's going to go and they're going to start seeing what you guys are doing, and be totally exposed. So to know that your transparency is going to shine through. Because what I do, guys, when you start doing your story videos and start putting them together, I really push you guys out and share you. I mean, I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, and it really helps you guys get a lot of press too. So make sure you're sharing your videos on our branding page so you guys can all watch them and give each other advice as well. And then we're going to start putting together.
Yeah, I hovered around that page.
All right, good. Yeah, well, make sure you put it in there, because then we're going to start doing really. What's that?
I was too freaked out to post it on your page.
I figure you were. Don't worry about it. Hey, this is what we're here for, right? What I do, it's easier for me to go there and listen to your guys' stories and give you guys some really good input, because don't worry about video content structure right now at all. We will do in 2 weeks video content structuring. But if you guys want to even like a little mini advanced information on video content structuring, you can actually go to your members area and go to week 4, because I go through some video content structuring if you guys want to do it. But I don't want you to focus on it. I just want you to know that right now it's just about kind of getting your ideas down, right? Getting it out so you can start looking and seeing who the person that you're going to connect with and how your brand is going to start emerging from that. Okay. But if you want to look at some of that, you guys can. But share it. You absolutely want to share it. You have to share it. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's see, Deanna. Let's see. You're on your iPad. I'm not sure that you can raise your hand on an iPad. So let me. I'll try to help you come back out here, Deanna. You might be able to just unmute yourself. Pat, did you want to come on out? I know Jeremy and Pat, you guys had your hands up. You put them down, but I certainly want to make sure if you guys want to jump on out here, that you do.
Yeah, I'm ready to go if
Yeah, come on.
you are.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Pat, what took place for you? And what were some of the things that you discovered?
Okay, boy, do I ever need you to start writing down all of the little tidbits, because I can just go in a big old circle and pick up all kinds of things as the snowball rolls down the mountain. It gathers all kinds of things, and I need somebody just like you to pull out the pieces.
And that's why we do it this way. Right now, just throw it all up. Just let it all ride.
Okay, I related so much to what Barb was talking about. One of my mottos is it's not too late to begin what you can become.
Ooh.
And I think I relate to that so much because of the struggling I've done with online marketing.
Okay.
I'm a baby boomer, and that's the market I want to target. I've retired from corporate after a very, very successful year competing in the man's world and doing very good. And I thought I could just take that over into online marketing and doing an at-home business. And I hit the wall. I went major splat up against it and struggled for 3 big years and sort of into 5 where it's like starting to come together. So I've got a long, painful, which the other 2 gals were talking about, long, painful stories of I thought I could do good. I've been doing good in the past. All of a sudden, all the rules of the game have changed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they are. As a baby boomer, I didn't grow up with technology. I have fought it, literally, and that's not a good word to use, but I fought it.
No, but but listen, Pat, this is good. But how many people at your, age and baby boomers do fight it? So this is stuff that you have to be able to say. Like, right, Keith's right next to me. He's like, yep, I fought it. Right, same thing. That's good. Okay, this is still good because this is, again, part of your content. It's part of who you are. But you're going to say, look, I've been fighting the technology for so long. Right now, I finally found a solution. So Do you see how that works? So becomes a positive.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's hard to make it a positive because that's where I struggle, but I've just finally come to the conclusion that instead of trying to do it all myself, this type A, I've got to do it, I got to do it right, I got to get it perfect, I'm going to hire professionals like you
Mm-hmm.
and some other people to coach me through it. And I've heard that for years. I've joined a coaching program that was way over my head, and I
Okay.
spent $5,000 on it.
Yeah. Right.
And the first thing the guy said was, well, pick what you want to do. It's like, son of a gun, I have no clue what I want to do. That's what I want you to help me decide.
Yeah.
Because I was bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah.
And I get to talking fast when I go here too much. But, and all of this is coming into my story, my video.
Right.
I've got a PDF ebook that I've published, and I'm part of a published author for another book with coaches.
Excellent.
And what I've kind of, I don't want to say by default, but what I've found myself going into is the big names of the company I was with were sending people, and get this, who were struggling more than me, that were turning to me for the answers, and they were paying me for helping these people. And it's like, oh my gosh, I think I might be onto something here.
Okay.
So then I was spiraled out again, not knowing the company had some internal issues about a year later. And it's like, okay, this isn't going to work. I've got to find something different. So then I went down another rabbit hole trying to find what to do, joined this program, did that, did some MLM, did the 3-foot rule, everybody within 3 feet of you, you've got a sales pitch, and I'm not a salesman. I hate that kind of
No, we don't
I
want to
don't
attack
hate it.
anyone. This method.
Yeah, I don't like that. I write, I'm an author, I connect with people with emotions, with encouragement, just kind of like what Debbie was talking about. So there's like so much inside of me that wants to come out, but I haven't had the vehicle to get it out or put the pieces together.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Okay, let me ask you a couple things. This is really good because it's so interesting. I've been in the internet industry for 8.5 years. And when I came in, I was actually at the exact same point. And it was all about marketing. I don't even like to say marketing anymore because it has nothing to do with marketing anymore. People are so sick of seeing, hey, I got this for you. And look at the sales page. This is why we do personal branding and why everyone gets an, ILN blog, these amazing, gorgeous blogs. A lot of you guys have them. If you don't, you're going to get one, because this is where we really have to take who we are and bring it out. And what happens, Pat, is you're going to start now being able to connect with all these people that have the exact same issues that you had, but now you're sharing with them how you came to the end solution. And we're not marketing anymore. Now we really are. I mean, there's a lot of content that you just shared with me, but let me ask you, Pat, what is your company now that you are marketing? What is your company?
Well, right now I'm in GRN.
Okay, that's right. Okay, good.
And I love it because I mean, we work all baby as a baby boomer, and that's, they said talk about something and what you're a professional at. Well, I'm a professional baby boomer because here I am.
Yeah.
And I want to market to that group that wants to get out, and we've worked hard all our life, doggone it. We've earned some playtime, and that's what my husband and I are doing. We're going out and getting some playtime, and I want to do the videos. I love your videos in the pool, by the beach, at the restaurants, and that's what people want to see, and that's the people I want to connect with. But I've got this other sack of problems I'm dragging along with me that are really who I am, but that's not who I want to be.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, are you willing to let those problems and issues go? Because in order for us
Oh, yeah.
move
I
on,
want him to,
yeah,
I almost started cussing. I want him the heck gone.
that's all right. This, we can get nuts in this show. In this show, it becomes a show. I mean, you guys realize why I love this so much, because I get so connected to everyone's stories, and now we all really begin to really get people pushing people forward, like, go get it, let it all go. And let's like start over fresh, because now you've got something to really go after. But some of the things that you said, like right here, I'm even looking, Pat, it's not too late to begin what you become. Man, like these are like statements that become part of your tagline, become part of you. And
Hmm.
everything you just said here really is, you've now started to create some really powerful content, right? Your video series that you're going to start next week can probably be about all of this, right? Because what we do is we build upon it. We share with them, this is who I am. It's what I'm going to share with you this week, and throughout your content. I'm going to have a video series. And you say, okay, this is where I was at. I was a struggling marketer. I've been in the corporate, I've done this. And you keep sharing with people, and you always offer a solution. See, GRN is a great solution. It's a really good connected family group. People get to travel. They want to go play, right? So we have solutions that help people do this. And it doesn't matter what opportunity you have, it all walks everyone down the right path that they need to go from. But we need to take all these things that we've just laid out and now start creating content for people to really connect with. And, we're going to do.
So,
Yeah. Flexor clock. Go ahead. Sorry, that's my little, sexy Sadie.
so Rhonda, kind of in each video in our video series, we offer our pain, our problem, and do a little story around that. And then towards the end, it's like, this is how I overcame that, and offer some little bit of a mindset tidbit or something. Not into marketing, and I'm so relieved to hear you say that, because
Yeah.
that's what I mean, I sit online almost all day, and all I hear are these smooth talking people, and oh, it's all about the list, the marketing, the tools, the this, the that, and it's like, so what you're saying is connecting with the heart, and that's the part I love to do.
Yep. Yeah, and
And
that's, because yeah, certainly. I mean, and we'll get into how you're going to start pushing, this video series out, and I will give you guys some. I'll share it now. I've never, if you ever watch my videos, I never go, hey, and I got this for you. And it's really about that soft share. When you do a video series, it's really nice because you set people up, and what happens, this is how you begin to create a following, and that's how you do build this list, is you share with them a bit about your technology fight. Because I'm a baby boomer. This is what I've got going on. And gosh, what I love the most now is how, things change, and the way we share information has changed. So, I'd love to share with you, how I've been able to kind of get through this technology crunch, and the solution that I use to actually, have playtime, and to be connected with people that you don't have to be the technology guru. See, I just gave a call to action where someone's like, yeah, I want that. So you're like, so go ahead and click that link over below, and you'll be able to really see and understand where I come from and the solution that I've used. So these
oh,
are right. Did that feel good?
I love what you just said, and I couldn't write fast enough. I'm glad it's recorded.
It's recorded. Everything's recorded.
I love
And
it.
we'll do a call to I'll do even a section probably in the third week of call to actions through your videos, because see, that's the difference, where we become that annoying attacking marketer to the person that is just like, wow, you connect so well, and people just go, I just want to know what they've got. And then, of course, they go to your blog, they get on a list for GRN, they get on a list for Empower Network, they get on a newsletter list, and then we share more. And then we say, hey, if you want to find out the solution that I've been able to travel the world, because I have a whole GRN list, right? I just did a video the other day about using a great high-end travel program to add on to anything you've got. And I've got two people that are like, wow, I want to buy that platinum program because I just like it. You just made it sound so good. Because we're not selling anymore, guys. We are literally just sharing good stuff about us and allowing people to connect and say, what's that solution? And your call to actions should be more, because the way our video structure should be set up, and just the way our structure should always be, and I'll give this to you guys now because you guys are already really in the mindset of video, is body, right? You give the intro, which is kind of the hook, right? Which is, you guys will get video content structuring in a couple weeks, but you hook them with something like really interesting right away. You talk about the body, which can include personal development lessons. I always include my day lessons. It usually applies to my kid, right? My child always has a great lesson for me. So that always include a lesson. And then it's the call to action. But to see, the call to action doesn't have to be, hey, get over here, let me sell you something, buy it now. It's like, I'd like to invite you over to my blog so you can learn a little bit more about how I've been able to create this life of freedom, of travel, being with my child. See, that's a great call to action, right? And then you offer them, whatever link or opportunity that you might have in every one of your videos. Okay. So that's really how we start to get people more engaged in us, and why then your personal brand, Pat, which, we want to really look at that. That'll start emerging from, where you've been. I mean, I'm looking at even your stuff now. It's like, from, corporate and retired to learning to play every day, right? It's like from a struggling online marketer to playing and living the life of my dreams, right? See, these are the things that's the person that you want to talk to, right? You're going to start establishing. I'm not telling you that's who you want to talk to, but you want to look at these things that you just wrote down and go, wow, that is my customer, from struggling, struggling online marketer to now, becoming who I've always wanted to become and playing every day. Right. And so that's the type of, when you list like this, and every one of you guys have done a great job, when you list things out, now your content starts coming through and you're like, that's actually who I am. That's who I want to target. And so then we start crafting the whole brand around that. Is that making sense, Pat?
Absolutely. I love it.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right, you got it. Awesome. You guys are rocking, man. This is week 1. You guys are jamming already. Debbie says Pat is her ideal client. Well, perfect. See, this is what's so great. This is why I love when we interact like this, because everyone's like, okay, I need to talk to now. That means Debbie needs to talk to Pat. Pat needs to tell Debbie what she wants, so then Debbie can start marketing to people like Pat.
Absolutely. I'm ready, Debbie.
It's so brilliant. And what you guys will be able to do, and this is what I love too, is we've had this happen in the class a lot. You guys then start partnering up. You start doing videos together. You guys do a Google Hangout together. You record it. And you talk about, the solution that you've got for her and how she's got for you. And you publish it on YouTube. You put it on a blog post, share it on Facebook. People are like, oh my gosh, that lady just created a solution for her. And it's powerful, guys. Relationships are the most powerful piece. And so this is, perfect. I'm glad you guys are already connecting right there. Awesome. All right. Yay. All right, good. I'm glad Barb's like, I already feel like she's got her money worth. Thank goodness. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Julie, did you want to come back out? Or are you still good? Because I'm going to go through some content for you guys to prepare for next week, because now you guys are going to really get down nitty and gritty. Next week, we're going to you're going to start a video series. You guys have got a lot of this work already done, but now we're going to start building on it, and you're going to actually start getting your brand and your content really out there. All right. Anyone want to jump out yet? Okay. Nice. Oh my gosh. Check this out. Debbie says she can set up Google Hangouts. She's embraced technology. Awesome. See, that's the kind of person you want to connect with, right? I love it. All right. Anyone else want to jump on out here? Jeremy, did you want to come on out here, buddy? Or Gianna, do you want to come on out?
Yeah, it's Gina.
Gina, hey babe, come on out.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
You can. You sound great.
All right, thanks. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have. Jeremy's at work, and it's typically my son's bedtime, so I might have to hurry up a little here.
That's okay.
So we actually kind of started working on this before. We're in Empower Network, and so
Right.
we started thinking about this a few weeks back, and neither of us really had any, huge event that happened in our life that, we weren't homeless, we weren't alcoholics, anything
Right. No
like that.
tragedies. Yeah, that's okay.
We're kind of like the average people. We were taught from our parents to, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and, the rest falls into place and you'll be happy the rest of your life.
Right.
And so that's what we did, and now we're, still like 100 grand in debt, and we're working 40+ hour weeks, and we never see our son, and we don't really take vacations because we can't get off of work. And so we're basically targeting people in that same niche. They're educated. I have a doctorate, Jeremy has a master's degree. They kind of did what their parents said because that's what everyone was supposed to do. And not that they're completely unhappy with what they're doing. Jeremy loves what he does, but he'd like to be home more,
Mhm.
and if we had, a little bit more money and a little bit more time, we could do that. So that's kind of
Yeah, all right, good. You guys are really on focal point on that, because that's okay. You don't have to have a massive tragedy, like you have this incredible story, but your story is this was the American dream. We were supposed,
Right,
right?
exactly.
Right? I
Yeah,
know,
I
I
mean,
know.
we related to your story a lot. I mean, you
Yep.
guys, so exactly.
And this is when I mean, if you now you notice because you followed us, every single thing that I do, pretty much this is my story, right? This is
Yeah.
all my videos, everything I do, I still talk about it. Like, I'll now that we're at the point we are now, I can talk about, the gratitude that I have for being able to be with my daughter. But I always bring it back, like, look, I worked my butt off. I have a master's degree, but I had no time to enjoy my time or the money that I was making. Right. So that is a great group. And you guys are, Gina, what is your age group again? What is your and Jeremy?
Uh, well, I'll be 35, Jeremy's 36, so
Okay.
middle 30s.
Yep. So you're in that age group of, right, those that went to school, built themselves up, now they've got debt because they have houses, they have all this stuff, right? And what's
Right.
the solution?
And now what? We have a house, we have all these lovely things, we have a kid, we have a family, and now what? We're supposed to just do this for the next 40, 50 years? I mean,
Right?
really?
Huge. That was huge. That's like going to be your biggest, best story video ever, because you're going to talk to those exact people, right? You're going to be like, look, this is our deal, right? Like you just got Keith all pumped up. If Keith was on the webinar, he'd be putting up his hand. He's like going, yeah, this is the nail. This is when we start nailing stuff, guys, when we realize, okay, this is my story. This is what got me to where I am right now. And now you just start sharing with those people and the imaging, all that stuff, a brand. I want you guys to know that never matters. It's going to come out so easy. It's going to bam out for you guys. It's this part of getting, all right, now how do I communicate it, right? Now your core message is so strong, Gina, and every single thing that you guys do, all of you guys have just really started to nail your core message, is it's going to now really begin to come out of you when we start doing this video series. So right now, this week, we really want you guys to get those videos, really, really get that story video in front of you. This stuff that you guys have done, share this. And let's make sure you guys are posting it this week, because now we are really ready to kind of like lay it all out in front of you and start tightening it all up, because these are the pieces that people want to hear. They all deserve to hear it, but no one really nails it. They get all over the place. They get too broad, and they're now really not targeting the people that want to hear your story, your message.
Mhm. So I just have one quick question
Yep.
that I need help on personally. So
Yep.
I don't know if you watched our video. Jeremy said he posted on the website,
Do you put it
but
inside the members area?
he said he did, yeah.
Okay. I usually check with Facebook first, and so I didn't go back into the members area, because I
Okay.
prefer you guys to put it on Facebook. But yeah, I will go in and look at that.
Okay. Um, Jeremy had scripted this out like a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and so he's very good at riffing. Like if he has a topic, he can just flow, and
Mhm.
I struggle with that. Like I need an outline, and what was funny about the video is he had our lines up on our computer screens, and so you can tell that I'm reading at one point because I'm not very good at flowing. I lose my train of thought and then I just completely blank.
Okay.
So I need help with finding the right words and flowing and continuing to talk no matter what comes up. That's
Yeah,
my
well,
struggle in my videos.
and I get that. And this is how you do it, is we really take it. That's why we break it up like this, so you don't have to flow everywhere. So when we do a video series, you guys are going to take little baby points. You're seeing the
Okay.
reason why I start with your story, because your story is yours. You know your story so well that you really don't have to worry about it, right? And so you want to let the storyline flow. Can you do your own storyline on a video without getting lost?
I think I probably could.
Yeah, yeah. You can. I want to suggest to you. Hold on one second, sweetie. Hold on, guys. Got a little chaos here. Brian's birthday party and his buddy's leaving. It's cake time. So that's okay. I know you're excited. So what I want you to do is everyone has their strengths, right? So not everyone is going to be able to rip out all these massive videos. But what happens is if Jeremy's a good riffer, then you can be next to him and you can poke in, right? That's how a lot of couples will do a lot of their videos. But for
Okay.
you specifically, just you get out in front, even if it's in front of your computer, go to, Photoshop, whatever it is, or photo booth and say, look, okay, you just tell your story. You say you don't have to make sure it's structured well because we'll get to that point. We'll make it good. But you're gonna go, look, this is my deal. I went to school, I got good grades, do what my parents told me, and this is where we're at. But then you start. What happens is you're gonna hit the part about your son, and you're gonna get emotional. See, every video, guys, every way you communicate, it's got to have a vulnerability always. I don't know if you
All
guys
right.
notice in my blog, if you go to my blog, you'll see everything I do is vulnerable. I talk about, the sad parts. When you hit the point with your son, you're gonna be able to talk about it. That might be your best strong point for your whole, everything you do. All your content might be about things that you've learned from your son and why you're doing what you're doing. So we all will find a point that we can really talk on. And every video that we do, every blog post, every communication typically has to have a bit of vulnerability and a bit of us. If you notice on Facebook, I'm like, yay, power to everything. And then I'm like, wow, today I was really thinking, I had this moment because people love to understand that you have vulnerabilities as well. And that's where you're going to get your most connections.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Good. 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 Okay. Beth, I know Beth. I apologize. Beth was okay. Good. Beth, let me unmute you because I know that she's got a sensitive situation today. I'm sorry, Beth, that you had the tragedy in your family, but I'm glad that you're here and come on out.
I'm here.
Hi. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So so share with me where are you at right now?
Well, I'm like most of the other callers. I am going to be 57 actually on Monday.
Woo-hoo!
So I'm a
Yay!
baby boomer.
My birthday!
On June 3rd.
Yes!
Oh, yes.
Yay! I'll be 40 on the Monday. Yay!
That is a riot. Good. That's exciting.
Yay! All right. Okay. So come on out. Tell me.
Okay. Well, I'm the youngest of 4 girls. So that I'm sort of like the spoiled little girl, and I still am. But in my growing up, I was also the one that did a lot of compromising and settling for whatever was given to me. So that's sort of who I am now too. I still settle and I compromise. Even though that might not be my opinion, I'll say, okay, I'll do it your way, even though inside I'm like really not happy.
Okay.
I want people to like me. I am a caregiver. I work in the house field. And
Okay.
so I do a lot of one-on-one. Well, that's all I do is one-on-one with people and helping them get better from an illness. I teach them independence. And so that's who I am, and that's who I want everybody to be, sort of independent.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what are you marketing? Is it a company, a product?
Yeah, well, I have GRN,
Okay. Okay.
ILN, send out cards, Mary
Okay.
Kay.
Got it. Okay.
I have my toes in a lot of little things,
Yeah. Well, it's okay. You got
but
some. That's good.
I haven't jumped into anything
Yeah.
yet.
Well, and that's the point where you're going to really, we'll help you to really start focusing on the things that are important to share. What you lead with. All right. So what really makes some specific uniqueness? I'm starting to get from you where people will associate with teacher and helping people really be their best.
Right. Yeah. And help people to believe in themselves.
Okay.
Even though, because of my background of compromising, I don't believe in myself and what I can do. I know I can be a success, but as soon as I get there or almost there, then, the rug comes out and poof, I don't get there.
Well, I'm going to really encourage you. This is going to be a really powerful time for you because I want you to know that everyone's looking for someone with strength within themselves. And because you can coach and you can help and you can really get people to feel good about themselves, you have to start with yourself. in order for someone to follow you, you've really got to get so strongly clear. And this is going to be a really great way for you to do that by really sharing about some of the vulnerabilities, some of the things that you've gone through to really show your power. Are you ready? Are you able and ready to show your power?
I think so, yes, because for the other people on the call, my mother-in-law passed away today, and I only knew her 10 years, and she was the queen of worry. And then this weekend, she said, you know, I've learned the lesson late, but it's just not worth worrying. And so that's just a huge, it's sort of like my story has changed. You know, I have a new little circle to add to my story.
Yeah.
Because of what I've learned through this experience.
You know, and that, you remember how I was saying that there's all these little things that, you know, contribute to our story, but there's one that just changed us. You know, like Brian talks about his dad died of AIDS. That was a big that was a big point for him. His dad died because he knew he was going to have an expiration date. So he took him traveling. See, that's part of our story. Why we travel is because of part of something that happened for him. So that's stuff that you really want to, you got to get clear on that, because that's stuff you want to share. And people are like, wow, that's clarity.
Yeah. I do have a blog through Vincent, and my title of it is Living Like a Queen in 2013. But
is that you?
That's who I would like to be. It's not who I am right now.
Okay. And that's okay. I mean, that's a forward thought. You know, certainly your brand, if that's who you want to be portrayed as, right, then you have to own that. And what we'll do is when we start looking in, you know, really what your tagline really comes to, it's going to be, is that about what you can do for other people and the solution you can offer to them, or is it about you?
Right. Yeah. Because I'm wondering how that's going to relate to other people.
Right. And that's when we have to.
Are they going to believe that they can be a queen or a king? You know.
Yeah. And that's something that we will, when we get into taglines in the next week, that's something that we really want to look at, because, you know, and that's why things change, because you find your purpose is a lot stronger. Your purpose needs to come more out than kind of what you want to be like. Right? Because people will really start to relate to what your purpose is, why you're doing this. Like, what is her story so much is she's got to be, you know, running a business. Why should I want to work with her? And why should I ask what she does? Right? And it could be, who knows, you might want to find people that do want to live like a queen. Great. But that's, you know, let's sit on that and really get a little bit deeper through, you know, some of the questions that I go through, especially in week 1 and week 2. Week 2 is going to really start helping you guys identify some things, because you're going to take the work that you guys just did, and now you're going to start putting it into a specific style of brand. And I'm going to go through that before we close tonight, so you guys are ready for it. But this is really good when you start to just kind of identify some things. Did you do a video, Beth?
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
It's still here.
Okay. You didn't get it up yet. Well, that's okay.
No, I think it's on YouTube. Now I have to find it and then put it up.
Okay. Just take that link and copy it onto the Facebook fan page, as well as in the back, you know, back section, back members area, so we can all really kind of look at it and help you guys get through it. I'm almost done.
Okay.
All right. All right, good. So I know that Deanna wants to come, and I want to make sure that I always respect everyone's time, and we all get, everyone that wants to jump out gets to come on out. So I want to make sure I'm doing that. All right. So
okay,
Deanna, yeah. Did you have any other?
I'm going to exit now.
Okay. Beth.
So I'll catch the rest of it.
All right. We send love to your family and to your husband as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, sweetie.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Bye-bye.
Okay, where's Deanna? Okay, Deanna, come on out.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can. There you are. Okay, cool.
Okay, great. Well, I was just, I was very new to hopping on, obviously, here just in the last 24 hours. So I haven't done all of my homework, but I've really been reflecting on this and giving it some thought. And I think for me, I feel like I have a lot of my story that is, I guess I should give some background. I'm a leader in my business that I'm in right now, and I've been in that business
What
for
is your
5
business again,
years.
Deanna?
And Mary Kay.
Okay, that's right, Mary Kay. Yay, awesome. Yep.
Yeah, Mary Kay. So, it's so crazy because I have a lot of things that happened before I started my business that really I feel like have shaped and molded who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I haven't really shared all of that with people yet. And I feel like there's something there that I could really make a bigger difference, by sharing that. And, with Mary Kay, it was just kind of like I was a single mom. I was a college student. So I had my daughter when I was 18 years old. And I just kind of got thrown into being an adult, really, really early. And, so I had my daughter. I always knew that, that I had a purpose, a big purpose, and that I always knew that I was going to do something great with my life. And I never let obstacles stop me. And so when I had my daughter, I just decided, oh my gosh, I've got to go to college. I've got to get a degree. I've got to, be able to make a living for her. And so when she was 9 months old, I went to college. I started college. I majored in business and finance because I figured there was nothing I was really passionate about. And I thought, you know what? If I choose finance, then if all else fails, at least hopefully I'll know how to manage my finances. And that was my thought process at the time, which is really sad. But I'm sure there's other people out there though who have gone to college and just picked a degree because they felt like they had to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a master's. I have no idea why I have it.
Yeah, and it was just like I didn't even know why I was doing what I was doing. I was just doing like the status quo, what everybody said you should do. And so I got that degree, and it was actually in the last semester of college. Well, actually, I'll back up a couple years. Before I finished college, I had a very tragic event in my life, and my brother passed away, and I was only 22 years old when that happened, and he was 24, and he was like one of my best friends. So when that happened, that totally like rocked my entire world, and it was just like, such a tragic experience for myself and my family that I realized I really had to press in to my faith and to God, and that became like the number one purpose in my life was like seeking God and what like knowing the real value of life, like beyond just in this world. And so that made a big difference for me, and it took a lot of personal growth, a lot of studying the Bible, and just spending alone time at rock bottom for me to come out of that situation. And when I did, it was like God brought all of these amazing blessings into my life that I just never knew were even possible. And I'm so passionate about my faith and my family. I'm so passionate about sharing with other people what a relationship with God can do for them. And, I feel like when Mary Kay came into my life, it was at the high point of my life after I had just been coming out of that, dark depression and everything that happened with my brother. But I was on, I was just really on a track of, being pressed into my faith. And Mary Kay, I was a college student. I was at the end of getting ready to graduate. I was so broke. I had no money at all. I mean, I had no money. I was broke, and I kind of got really cornered into trying these products. I didn't want to try them. I was very, standoffish because the girl who asked to give me a free facial, she said it was free. She asked to give me a free facial, and I told her no, because I knew if I fell in love with the product, I wasn't going to be able to afford them.
Yeah.
And so that was something I just kept telling her no. And I also had really bad skin at the time. And so, I was embarrassed to like take off my makeup, and I just had a low self-confidence about myself. But somehow I got cornered into trying these products, and I fell in love with them. And, she started sharing more with me about the business, and she told me, that I could have flexibility and make my own schedule, and that I didn't have to answer to a boss, and that I could, travel when I wanted to. And she told me she was earning like a free car and a cruise, and all those things sounded so great to me. And that was the first time I was ever had my eyes open to really being an entrepreneur. So I always thought that I would work for somebody else, and I always thought that I would, because I was such a good employee. I was so good when I worked for other people. I knew I had great values and work ethic and everything like that, but I just never pictured myself being a boss. I was always had this fear of, having to control my own business. I didn't want that. I wanted somebody to just tell me what to do, and I knew I was a good student, and if they could tell me what to do, I could do it. But I didn't realize, the working for somebody else, how much else comes with that that's bad,
Right.
And so when she told me I could have freedom and flexibility and be there for my daughter, it was just really something that, I took hold of right away. And when I graduated, I never went to work for anybody else. So
Okay, well, this is huge. Well, and I'm not cutting you off because I don't want to continue to hear, but this, if you notice, like you just hit, I mean, this whole circles thing, I know it's kind of ridiculous, but wow. Like, do you see all this content that you just delivered that you're going to be able to really focus on, really sharing that online? Because you're focused now, Deanna, you really want to help, you want to put your business in to the internet space as well, correct? That's what your main as well.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of trying to figure that piece of it out, because I'm
Yeah.
so used to marketing in person and so used to working with people one-on-one and like mentoring people one-on-one. I think I'm realizing now the value of the internet and the fact that you can have so much more influence and touch so many more lives in such a quicker way than like having to go one person at a time, and repeat yourself over and over. So I see the value of the internet and the influence. But I think what I want to do with like my blog is I really want to bring more of that out, more of my faith and my family, more of my core values out and share that with people versus just sharing with them a business opportunity.
Well, okay, good. This is a good realization you just had. I want everyone needs to listen to that, because what happens, so many people lead with their business. That's the worst way we're throwing away the marketing mindset, and we're talking about now the sharing, connecting, attracting, creating customers for life mindset. And that's the stuff that you just were sharing, is how you are going to be able to really relate that through your blog, through your site, so that people start coming to you because of your values. And that's really what I was going to get to tonight, is sharing how you separate, your core values come through, like your faith will come through, the things that about you come through, opposed to your business side. Because Mary Kay certainly will be someone that people are like, wow, this is really, powerful and valuable. And you'll do that ratio 3-to-1. 3 different videos or sharing content to one offer. And you'll be able to, once they love you, they're like, what is this stuff? I want this stuff. There's a business to this too. So that's the type of how you're going to really construct your content to want people to be more wanting you, right? Because they're going to know you have a business somehow, some way, right? But when they really fall in love with you, then they're like, wow. Then you start doing these soft call to actions, like, wow, and this is the solution I've used to be with my daughter, and this is the, what I've been able to utilize to live this type of lifestyle. So then you now can offer, they can look into what your offer is, and you're not attacking them to wanting it. And then you also then have a lot of options too, because now that you're online, all of you guys become affiliates to the ILN network too. So people that want these amazing blogs become also another income stream too. So what you'll want to do then, Deanna, we'll want to make sure that you do a video, just, go through that week 1 and do, that life video of how you've gotten to where you are now, so that we can start now crafting these, really digging deeper into how your brand's going to look, but really how that content's going to come through for you. And so your video series next week will really start to be defined.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I think I was just kind of not sure how much to share, and how, because I'm so used to, like, I share my Mary Kay story when I'm meeting people and working with them and everything, but I think I don't necessarily only want it to be about, Mary Kay or about the business, that specific thing. I just want it to, really help people. And one of my biggest things is I really want to help people with personal development and like overcoming fears, because I think one of the biggest frustrations for me as being a leader in my business is that I do work with so many women and so many people that have such limiting beliefs, limiting mindsets of themselves, and I see that holding them back. So it's like I can bring somebody into the business and I can get them started easily because they're attracted to the lifestyle and the opportunity that it offers. But I'm finding that when people do, once they come in, it's like, wow, I'm realizing how many issues that people really have, like in their mind and in their thinking, And, for me, I would really love to just help people, show them how, like with my faith and with the relationship with God, how that has, strengthened my beliefs in myself and my,
Yeah.
that type of thing,
Well,
over
and
time over the years.
this is good because you're identifying some areas of concern and assistance for your current team, and that could also be you'll start being able to share some of these block points with other people that might be in another business. And I would, wow, she's identifying some things that I've already gone through as well. So taking that content and those those experiences you've got and to be able to create videos and content for your team will not only help improve them, right, but it'll also encourage and assist other people around as well. So that's really where your blog and using the online feature is going to be amazing, because you're going to be able to share it now with everyone. So let's say you're doing a post or a video and you put it on Facebook, you put it on a blog, and the people that you work with get to see it, they share it. So now you're getting more people that are connecting with your story opposed to the Mary Kay story. It's more about what you can teach. See, people want to be connected with what you can teach them, not to necessarily what you have to offer. They'll ask
Right.
for that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
And I recently, I'm in I actually purchased the GRN membership as well.
Awesome.
And I was really just attracted to, it was just such an awesome product, and I love to travel, and I just felt like it was a no-brainer because we really do love to travel and don't get to enough, and so I see it's a valuable product. But then when I heard about the commissions you can make on the offering that to other people too, I was like, wow, that's great
Yeah, see,
too.
there
So
you go. You just did it because it just sounded good. Yeah, Daddy can prepare the cake now, guys. Annalise like, I want cake. So, okay, good. This is good stuff. So let's build on this for next week. I want to make sure that I get you out here, Jeremy, and I want to go through a couple things before we close, guys. Because I want to make sure you guys are really just, this is awesome. You guys are really nailing it, and this is how it starts to come out when we're just, you got to have someone in front of you. You're just organizing how this information comes out. And then now we just put you guys on a schedule of, all right, this is the stuff that you're going to do. This is how you're going to get it out there. And now you're just pumping out content that people all are just super attracted to. All right. So Jeremy, do you want to jump on out here, buddy? Or maybe it was just Gina that maybe you were just up from before. Okay. All right. Is everyone that wanted to jump on out good? All right, cool. If you guys are not, you guys can send me a personal message on Facebook, because what we're going to start doing now this next week is really having you guys defining, okay, so going deeper into your story and now pulling out those circles so you guys can actually start creating some really good content through using a video series and using blog posting. And then we're going to really start actually bringing out your really defining what the brand is going to start looking at, and how you're going to really communicate it now through your content. But we want to start getting some of the imaging up as well. So let's see. All right. I need to get down here. Okay. So what you guys are going to go through this week is really about identifying kind of, how your brand wants to be shared, whether it's through, like, for instance, Heather Martin, she was just one of our VIPs in Vegas. She went from the internet is my oyster to the housewives of success. Do you see the difference? How clear it became for her. She is so much clearer now because this is her target market. She's working with women that want to work from home. She works from home. She's a housewife. The internet as her oyster was so general and so wide open that she wasn't really targeting people. So you guys are going to we're going to nail it down. So you're nailing the person that you want to really target and who you are, opposed to what others, just general. For instance, a product. Is it a product, specific product? Like my brand is Unstoppable Family, but my product also is this Unstoppable Branding Secrets that I do. Jonathan Budd, he only targets his product line. You guys are going to really be targeting yourself, but some people really target the result. Matt Lloyd is, awesome, but he's a guru. He really just targets how to make 7 figures on the internet. That's what he does. But he didn't start off that way. See, he started off with a young kid from Australia who wanted to learn how to be a good marketer. So he shared experiences that he had. So we always start from one space and then it begins to build. Lisa Sasevich is actually my coach, and she's all about, creating authentic sales through her masterminds. So then we look at, are we a category? Like this woman was she's an artist, right? So she she only focuses on how to inspire artists. So we start looking at what our categories are, where we come from, and then you are able to really start defining what your brand's going to be. Now, your personal brand, guys, certainly is going to be, more of you, right? Your target of who you are. But if some of you guys, may have that focus, I think it was Debbie, who's really has you've got some technology. You can really help with teaching people certain things. So your personal brand becomes you, and then we start isolating really what you can do for other people as well. And so that's the kind of the stuff that you're going to go through in week 2. And we're going to start nailing down really what is it, how do you want to express yourself to people. Some people are very more personal development driven, and they're a softer approach. They, like these are some of the brands that have been created through the workshop. And so I want you guys just to go back through this. Now, week 2 is going to really help you now define that. Okay. Now, before I want to share with you guys a couple ideas, because some of you guys are like, I don't want to be the guru. Well, you don't have to be. Jerry Maurer, for instance, he's awesome, but he really is an attraction marketing consultant. That's what he does. So everything he does about attraction marketing, I would not want to have anything to do with what Jerry does, the way he does it, right? Because that's not who I am, but that's who Jerry is. So if you guys have a certain specialty or uniqueness, then that's going to come out of you. But if it really comes more into your values, right? Vincent Ortega, his values are really his faith as well. So he uses his brand, it's his personal brand. He really uses his values through his faith, right? That's how his brand looks, but he also communicates that way as well, through personal development, through really using inspirational stories that come through his brand. So you guys are going to really be able to start kind of addressing that unique core message that you have. Ashley's, hers changed completely. She was work with Ashley, and now she's Sunshine Success Gal, helping you create success with a smile. Like, it's just so her now. Before it was so just gray and vanilla. Now it's really her, because before she was just work with Ashley. Well, why? Right? So now Ashley really, she gives success tips. She gives ways to be successful online, but she really puts out her who she is through her posts and through her videos. So these are people, guys, that I want you guys to look at. When you go back to the recording, you're gonna be able to see them. You're gonna go see their sites and the things that they do. But what we'll do is, starting now next week, we're gonna really nail down what your brand's gonna look like. Then we're gonna start creating some really killer content and pushing it out there, so you guys start creating some really good followers as well. Okay, are you guys good? Okay, good. All right, so yeah, I didn't see your hand up. All right, so that's fine. No, Yvonne, I want you to come out here, because I didn't see your hand up at all. Actually, your hand isn't up. That's probably why. Some people think their hand goes up. There you go. Hey!
Hi, it shows that it's up on my screen. That's why I was like, what am I doing?
No, you know what it is, Yvonne? Is this, thanks, Emily. Oh, yummy cake. We didn't even get to sing happy birthday yet. Is the hand, it's backwards. It goes green. It should be red, and it's ridiculous. I know. It's backwards here. Was yours green the whole time with it up? It actually
but it shows it up. It shows it up with with an arrow up. So that's
it's totally backwards. The GoToWebinar screws everyone up. It has to actually be clicked, and it goes red. I think that means that you're going to talk. There you go. Now you're up. That's bizarre.
All this time I thought, I was like, no, me, I want to talk to.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
No, but now you've got to go to your party.
No, this is what we're here. We're just having cake here. We're getting ready to go to dinner. No, we're good. No. This is why you're here.
That was the biggest lesson of all, learning that the arrow down means that it's actually up.
All right. So share with me. I want to know what's come up for you through this whole process too.
Well, hello to everybody. I think everyone's met each other before, but and I'm going to make this short, because I believe in having a fabulous birthday for Brian, and happy birthday to him.
You're so cute.
Happy early for you, and for, I think there was somebody else who's got a birthday on your day as well. So couple of things. I don't know if anyone else thinks the same way, but when you know your own story so well, that you don't think it's unique anymore.
That's a really good question. That happens to everyone. But remember, you're sick of your story. but other people are not sick of it.
Right.
They've never heard it.
Right. So trying to differ, I'm trying to pull and pick all the perfect little moments or perfect little things that make up your story, because to me, all of it's like, oh, yawn. I mean, there are great parts to it, but not everything is relevant for putting a brand together.
Well, and that's why
I
this
mean,
first session,
that's the hardest.
well, that's why this first session, everyone's just like, bleh, right? Just bleh. You got to get it out there. You
Right.
gotta, and then we go, okay, now this, like, oh, who was it? I think it was Deanna. She's really did this for her son, right? So there's a point where, she's going to take some really big things that happened that might be part of the bigger, greater grand scheme, but they don't necessarily target to the person that, you might want to work with, right? Like Barb,
Right.
she's like had all this stuff. She's like, but not all that matters. What matters now is how she took a stand, how that helped her become who she is now and where she's at and the solution she has to offer.
Right. But so, I mean, so when you're deciding on your story, like I was in the Army at 17. I was a military police. I was a bodyguard. I've then traveled the world and moved to California all the way on my own, traveled across the country by myself, traveled to 28 countries. My thing, I never had children. So I do want to target people who love to travel, who have a passion for traveling. But that's a huge, range as it is too. I mean, so it's like I'm just a little confused on how to hone in.
Okay, no, it's good. This is why you literally want to list out things. It's not just like things that you've done, maybe experiences. Remember, we talked that everyone relates. Everything is about a story, right?
Right.
So why did you actually, and this is a lot of people get to this point, they're like, oh, none of this stuff matters. Why did you choose this medium called internet marketing?
I'm addicted. I love the internet. I'm also, I'm going to be 50 this year, but I'm one of those people that the last 4 or 5 years I've just poured myself into it. I love Facebook. I like everything to do with network marketing. I find, and for the fact that I love to travel, it is the perfect fit. It is such a perfect fit for me because I want to be able to do it from anywhere, and I love helping people.
Aha. Okay. See, this is the thing. Okay. This is where you start. Now you're starting to narrow it down. It's what I'm hearing. It's the traveling piece and the freedom to do it anywhere you want. See,
Right.
right? So
Yes, absolutely.
you just got to like list it and you're like, okay, what is the core message here? What are the core people? It's the adventurous, the people that want to travel, right? And that want the freedom to be able to make enough money to do it. You're not going to target backpackers.
No.
Right. So you're
No,
going to now you're targeting that age group, right? Which is at that point of, now wanting to totally be free and totally travel. So the things that you're going to talk about are probably going to be your background of being in the military police, why you're type A personality, why traveling is become so important to you and how you can do it.
Right.
Right. So
and no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, just this is when you go through this process of listing it all out, then you're like, wow, it's nothing to do with, my background. It has everything to do with how technology is amazing. I love to travel and I want to travel and you can use it.
Right. And I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer. Those are things that I just absolutely love. Everywhere I go, I want to do video of the places, the experiences. I want people, when I put a video together of a city that I've gone to or a town that I've gone to or a country that I've gone to, I want them to feel, wow, almost as if they're there and they want to be there and they want to go there.
Okay. This is huge. What you just said. I do these little secret ninja marketing techniques. I teach people the best form of sharing and marketing and connecting with people is doing reviews or pictures or images of places that you've been so that, and then, and you share everything like, wow, this is amazing. And then you do on a video or maybe it's in text. If you want to know how I can travel these amazing places and still earn enough money, I don't make money, doing photography, but I do this. And then you send them over to your Empower company. See, you're heavy, and maybe it's your photography. Maybe that's the part that you bring in the most, and the places that you go to and your travel, because that's the people that will really be engaged in the things that you're sharing, and then you offer them the solution of how you're doing it.
do you think, I mean, I need to probably more target, because I don't have children, and my partner doesn't have, partner sounds so silly. It's, you know,
Right.
but boyfriend sounds even sillier.
Sounds
That's
young, but
weak.
that's okay. No, it's
I know. But neither one of us have ever had kids. And so I think that might, I don't know if that's getting too narrow, trying to reach out for people that don't have children, or maybe the
well,
ones that have, you know, the kids are grown up.
well, and not necessarily. I mean, you can really, and remember, right now we're not really just like targeting people. We're sharing the thing because those people are going to
Story.
find you, though, right? The way that you
Right.
communicate and
Okay.
share, right? It could be a guy that loves traveling that's got a bunch of kids, right? Like us, or it could be a really adventurous, really open-minded type person that connects with you the most. But see, it's where you take that the content that you're going to be sharing, those people are going to start gravitating towards you, right? Because we're going to push it out on Facebook. We're going to, create consistency for you guys. So they're going to start seeing, and we're going to find out, what is your brand going to look like? What is it going to be? Like, is it going to
Right.
be right? So then when they see that, let's say it's, traveling with Bliss or whatever it is, they're like, wow, that traveling with Bliss lady keeps coming up. I love her.
Right.
I love that, right? So you're
Right.
going to start collecting people. That's why your personal brand becomes so powerful, but it's also the things that you share, which brings those people to you as well.
Okay.
Right?
On our story video right now, how
Yeah.
it shouldn't be more than like 3 minutes, right? 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I always refer back. I do video content stuff for you guys in the 4th week of the members
Mhm.
area. So, but you can, obviously, I don't ever like to limit you guys, but yeah, there's some rules for powerful video series here, in your video content. I go through all of that. So right now, I just really want you guys to free flow, let it all out, so you can start now, like tightening it up. So this next
Okay.
couple, like next week, I want you guys to get really, really clear on, you know, what this brand is going to feel like, because this video content stuff is going to start coming out, and you're going to start, you know, honing in on how you're going to share it, and the video structuring piece that'll come. Right now we're just
Okay.
going to do, right, and then we're going to start tightening it up in the 3rd and 4th week. But by next week, you guys are really going to, we're going to start talking about what a tagline connects with you, right? What really is defining you guys. And I want you to get really clear on, you're going to pick what the different type of brand is a product brand, service brand, business brand, a personal brand. Most of you guys seem right now you're in personal and personality brands, which is great. You can add to it and become a product brand, because that's what I've done. And then I want you guys to really look at, like, what is it that we are going to solve for these people, and what do I want to express in my brand. And it's going to start from the story, and all of a sudden it's going to really start now narrowing in, where you guys are going to be like, wow, it's got to have everything to do with my child, my value, or like Deanna was saying, her values of her spirituality, right? That's going to come through, and then we're going to start really creating a tagline. You guys just start going through some taglines that connect with you. So now when you're doing your video series, you're like, for me, I always go, be unstoppable, right? Everyone knows the Unstoppable family because we created that consistency. So I want you guys to start targeting in, what is it that I want to share, and how do I want people to see me and relate to me? And then we'll start, getting into the details of how long stuff should be. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Awesome. So did we get some value out of today, you guys?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yay,
Absolutely.
good. Well, if you guys did, I want you guys to make sure you are using that fan page. It's a really great place to not only just communicate with each other, share your video, ask each other questions. You guys are going to be your best critics too, because, like, I think Barb said that that Pat's her perfect client, right? You guys need to really assist each other. And maybe Pat listens to Barb's video and was like, you didn't talk to me at all, Barb, right? That's when you get some of the best, you know, advice and critiques, when each of you guys are looking at each other's stuff, and you get good ideas too. You really get great ideas by watching other people's stuff. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. Also start looking into brands, targeting, like literally typing in different ideas where you can pull up someone's blogs for, like, I do this a lot, blogs for personal development, right? And you'll see someone that has a cool blog that has something to do with personal development, or blogs for artists, or blogs for families. I mean, you will find people's stuff, and you're going to look at them and go, oh, I dig this. Okay, this can totally be something that I want to express as well, right? So you guys are awesome. Thank you for tonight. Be unstoppable. Just go out and be crazy and stop. I'll see you next week and all week. I check all week on your stuff and your questions so that we can help you guys build for next week. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye, guys. All right.
Bye.